we are. And my curiosity is just to like the going around that you were starting with Paul, but like to hear kind of, and to also to hear what's interesting for you right now. Like our group is IFS and non-duality, right? It's like the bringing together of the parts in time and this infinite self that's untouched, this causeless okayness and peace and love that we are, and all of our journeys in coming home, in healing what wants to be healed, and coming home to the the radiant presence that you are, the beauty that you are, the innocence of you are, having what you are right now, like really be realized and lived. And as we are all, I'm assuming, on some kind of journey like that, or some type of celebration of this that we are, I'm curious, what is riches for you? What's the edge right now for you on this journey? And that's my thought to go around. And then Paul had suggested to also say, like, what city you're in so we can know where everybody's located. But before I put that out there, I want to like tag Laura again to see what she has, where Laura would like to go with this as we go around.
Yes, yes. Let's see what comes out. And also to say that everything is by invite here. If you just want to absorb and just sit in silence and peace and just listen to these other voices talk, perfect. Perfect. Let's meet you where you're at. Great. So Sid,
Nice.
do you want to start us off?
I'd love to. I'd
Okay,
love
great.
to. And this is also in the idea that as the host, I'd like to demonstrate, I'd like to be as vulnerable. I'd like to help make the space safe for us all, right? It's like, okay, if you're not going to be vulnerable, what are you doing asking me to be? Um, so for me, what's been exciting is this word radiant presence, this idea for beingness, for isness as radiant presence. And then the relation with the parts and the relation in here with, like, I'm for the summer, I'm with my parents in Memphis. I'm kind of supporting mom and dad here. And if you've ever, as an adult, lived with your parents, it kind of parts like, oh my God, or like, mom, can't you see it this way? Or God, let's do this. Or yeah, and it's been fascinating watching my parts that have ideas of what would make life better for everybody. And then concurrently, there's this sense of radiant presence, like knowing the part as the innocence and beauty that it is. And it's been quite a play here in me of the two, of getting caught in just, whatever comes up when we're with our living with parents. And then at the same time, it's like getting glimpses of and of the beauty of the parts, the innocence of the parts, the radiance of the parts. And so my system seems to be going back and forth. And the exciting edge for me is when there's some blendedness with the part, is getting a glimpse of just that, the beauty that it is, the fulfillment that is already here, that I'm calling the radiant presence. How's that, Laura?
It is. It is gorgeous. So I'll go next. I'm in Manchester, UK, and we have the football match. Yes, the Euros. Some of you might know this at 8 p.m. UK time. It's going to be an exciting match. I don't follow footy. I'm more of a tennis person. And Djokovic is currently losing. So I really love Djokovic. So yeah, so there's, yes, what is present here? I think I really love that sense of feeling laid back and feeling like, I don't have to strive, I don't have to push, I don't have to manufacture. Everything is here for me in the next breath. So let me be with that. Let me be with the breath. And the group. Wow. I can't believe, Sid, it's been a year. Or nearly a year. It'll be on the, I don't know, 21st or something like that. Sid and I had a couple of moments with when Dick joined the group and when Locke joined the group. It was, it's like, we've got some heavyweights here. We have the kind of people who really paved the way for this beautiful model, for this beautiful way of being. So there were some shy parts. There were some parts that were like, yes. And there's always a balance. When you call yourself non-dual, there's always 8 billion ways. Yes. Everybody has their own way. And it's been spicy at times when people come in with their maybe more radical version of non-dual, and we come in with flouncing around with our sweet parts, and it's like, hey, do you want to be friends with my parts? No, parts do not exist. And so it's been spicy at times, yes, and we welcome that. And as far as I can see, Sid and I, this group, I feel, is the only one where it's like, hey, the radical and the parts, let's make sweet love, because that's what we're here for, yes? So I think it's been welcoming of all. So yeah, so that's me. Next in my window here, Murray, I see you next. Would you be willing to let us know where you are and maybe what's present for you? Ah,
Can you hear me now?
yes.
Hi, everyone. Dr. Laura, Sid, everyone. I'm Murray Holmes, and this is Ann Holmes, my spouse, and this is Marley. Yes. Marley is an 8-year-old Bichon. He just had a birthday last week. So we're still basking in the afterglow of his special day. We are in the United States, and we are in Ohio, which is in the Midwest. So we are surrounded by Michigan, Pennsylvania, Kentucky to the south. And I'm recently retired about a few years, and Ann is more recently retired, about 6 months. And I guess I could just non-duality in parts, and we are loving every moment of the way. It's a wonderful experience, very eye-opening. Non-duality.
Ah, he's so non-dual that he's just vanished. He's gone. So beautiful. Yes, Murray, you enlightened master. One's gone. Beautiful. Well, I'm sure he'll come back in. Jessica, you've popped up as the next person in the top row. Are parts feeling ready to share a little bit?
I'll share a little bit. I'm noticing very familiar parts that don't want to speak or be seen, but it's okay. I'm in the Seattle area, west coast of the U.S. Um, what I noticed, actually, Laura, when I can't remember what you said, invited us to be embodied, I think. And I noticed how much of me, how many parts are still coming home. I feel like oftentimes I am with parts that are like in my throat, but like speaking parts, learning to use my voice, learning to speak from a place of being embodied rather than I feel like I've been trying to take in information from the world about what the world expects of me and then reflecting that back out rather than knowing who I am and being that in the world. And that's kind of where my edge is.
Jessica, that's a beautiful invite right now for all of us just to re-embody, coax ourselves back in, come back here to the heart. So let's all take just a mindful breath. Come back, sweetheart, come back to the heart, come back to your body. You're safe. The throat can hold so much tension, and as we're waiting for our turn, some memories from being in class can come back. How fragile and how nervous we can feel when it's our turn. Thank you, Jessica, for sharing that. Re-embody, come back to safety, feet on the ground. Body on the chair, soft, soft. Let myself be soft. Thank you for that, Jessica. Murray, we thought you'd gone off to some transcendent realm, but you're back. Welcome back, Master. What? Oh, darling, you're on mute.
Oh, sorry about that. Sorry for the disconnection. We're in Ohio, and I was saying that we're reading your book, Dr. Laura, each night. We're about to page 203, and we read it 203. We're at non-duality in parts, and we read together at night, so that we can sleep on the information. And we're really enjoying things. We're learning, we're growing, and it's just a wonderful opportunity to be with you, the author of this wonderful book, and kind of be able to put a name and a face with all the wonderful writing. So I've been following non-duality for about 18 months, close to 2 years. I'm fairly new to parts, or IFS, I should say. But I'm beginning to see the bigger picture. I'm beginning to understand as I go day by day by day. So it's a real wonderful eye-opening for me, a spiritual development for me personally. And so that's kind of where I am today. As I said, Ann and I have recently retired. So this is a very special time of our lives. Um, I don't know. Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you so much. In this version of the book, which is the kind of the not for resale, 203 is self mirroring, and And so self mirroring there. So that's what we're doing here, no? We're mirroring self to each other.
Mirroring self to each other. So how are we doing with that, everyone? As Murray speaks, what are we hearing? Are we feeling that mirror, the sense of the mirror? And then I love this sense of the tuning fork. Because we listen to Murray, can we feel the bubbling joy that I experience there as he speaks, the connectedness, the love that's there? What resonates in your system as this mirroring? It's like with Jessica, as she was sharing, this embodying, this coming home. What was being mirrored for you? What was resonating? What sense of self were you noticing? And also, what parts are you noticing as Sid's speaking right now? As in maybe there's this little facilitatory part. Oh, I want to do a good job. Like what parts? What are you finding? What parts are you resonating with as we mirror each other? Back to you, Laura.
Yes, yes. And Jessica, you've just hit the nail on the head. Let's re-embody. Let's take another moment here to re-embody. Come back, come back, come back. Return, return, return. Re-embody, re-embody, re-embody. Feet on the floor, body on the chair. Conscious breath in. Yes. Yes. Beautiful. So let's carry on. On my screen next, I have Sarah. Sarah Ali, would Parts be willing to share a little bit?
Hi, everyone. Oh, I'm happy to be here. So grateful I could make it. And, um, well, not sure what to share. Let's see. I'm a bit still sleepy. Um, so there's that, the sleepy part. I'm a bit anxious. There's new faces, and there's a part of me that doesn't do well with new people. Um, it feels a pressure to connect. Um, okay, and then there's a part that's happy to see familiar people, friends, and just excited, like, hey, friends. Yeah, and then okay, let's see what else is here for me. There's a part that wants to know what's embodiment. It feels a bit strange, like a new concept for me. So whenever you said let's re-embody, let's come back here, it felt like, oh, okay, bringing together all of these parts together again. Which brings me to my parts. I feel like I have so many parts. Sometimes it's it's a bit of like a party, um, which is fine, I guess. And so I'm like wondering like how many are out there. Um, and Laura, you have such a sweet voice. Like when you were saying, come home, sweetheart." Something got emotional. I'm not sure which part, but there was a part that was emotional, almost teary. It's like I felt there are parts that are still out there. Like, are they lost? Are they okay? Are they coming home? Like there was that fear. Like, are they ever coming home? Am I gonna find them? How do I find them? So there's that. Um, okay. Well, I feel like this is as much as I can share.
I have just a thought with what Sarah shared. When she shared there was a sleepy part here and an anxious part here. What arose in you, in all of us? Like, was there a compassion? Oh, there's a sleepy part there. There's an anxious part there. I don't know some of these people. Just notice, how did you meet that? And then when she described the joy and the happiness of being here, what was your response? And I find this useful because if we can like appreciate and enjoy the parts in each other, it seems to be a shortcut to be able to enjoy them in ourselves. Like if we can really enjoy the sleepiness and the anxiousness that's there in Sarah, and then we're like, oh, wait a minute, the sleepiness and anxiousness in Sarah, I know that too. I've got that sleepiness and anxiousness too. And if we enjoy it in Sarah, then it makes it easier to enjoy it in ourselves. Laura, Sarah.
That was beautiful, Sid. Thank you for that. And what I really loved, Sarah, when you said you spoke for all of us, it's an invite to send out a message from self's clarity. I'm coming for you. You're coming home. I'm bringing you back. Yes, these parts can hear. You're coming home. Certainty. Exile no more. You're going to take your throne. You're going to take up your place at the altar in the heart. That's where your home is. Oof, Sarah, beautiful share. Thank you for that. That was deep, deep, deep. Hello, Zoe. You're next in my thingy. Would you be willing to share?
I'm actually renamed iPad, didn't you know?
I am sorry, iPad. iPad, would you be willing to share?
I'm so sorry. I can't work out how to put my name into there, so I'm really sorry, but I am Zoe. Hello, everybody. So take a minute here. So I joined the group, I guess, about Christmas, and so I do want to express my gratitude for all the different people in the group and the different ways in which I've felt really supported since then. I've kind of been involved with IFS for about 3 or 4 years, but it's only really in the last year that I've done a really kind of serious deep dive with IFS. And when it kind of came together with this group, with the non-duality group at Christmas, it was like it was as though all the things which I've kind of intuitively known within me since being a young child, but never actually kind of expressed out loud or kind of actually had a real conversation with somebody about them. I don't know. It's just the what I've met in the group is kind of, I don't know. It's something that parts that I've intuitively always known within me somehow, but never found expressed or been able to express myself, I guess, either. And going on this kind of long journey over years, going through all kinds of other experiences and different things, and so I don't know. I guess lots of parts feel at home here. And it still kind of blows my mind a bit that I'm able to come and have conversations and meet people here at a depth which I don't really have with the people that I see in the flesh. And that still blows my mind a bit. and the kind of wonders of connection and that I've experienced with people here, yeah, has been really deep. And I've gone over the last months as a result of going deeper with the IFS, I believe I've gone through a lot of change. There's been a lot of change. And if I think, well, where's the support from my parts come from as they go through all this change and integration? And yeah, a lot of it has come from being able to attend these groups. And so I have a deep well of gratitude and thanks for this space and for everybody that comes into it. And yeah, there's something around the kind of, let's say that there are I guess my system as a whole has caught glimpses of self in other people that has felt really, I don't know, enlightening. And these glimpses are kind of what keep drawing me on and kind of keep drawing on. And yet there's quite a few parts that are actually still really, really scared. And I guess with each kind of little step or with each kind of little experience in this group, I don't know, I guess more and more of my parts have felt, oh, okay, yeah, we can actually go and check that out. You know, it actually might be safe. And so I just feel that I have or am, I don't know, embodying that sense of parts coming home, but in a collective way, not just individually for me, but in this collective space that's a lot more powerful than me just sitting on my own trying to do it. So thank you.
A question
Let's
for
take
us all.
another. Okay, go on. Go ahead.
Just the question as Zoe was sharing, what were we seeing? What were we experiencing? Were we seeing the kind of the innocence, the beauty, the radiance, the perfection? Or was there something obscuring that in your system to notice? Thank you so much, Zoe. Laura?
Yes, and thank you for that, Sid. And coupled with that, let's take another mindful moment. Recenter, rebalance. There's a lot of talk about bringing parts home, not just within ourselves, but all of us walking each other home, contained safely in self, as self. You're safe right now. It's okay to speak your truth. Your truth is true and valid and sacred and honored. So feet on the ground, body on the chair. Mindful breath in. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. So, dear Eli, I have you next in my screen. How are parts feeling? Are you able to share a little bit?
Sure.
Thank you.
It's great to see everybody. I'm Eli. I'm in New York. Um, just spent the last couple of days on a retreat with Angelo. Skipping the morning meditation to be here with you all because I love this group so much. It's a tough decision this morning. I yeah, I've been in this group probably similar since Zoe, probably since around Christmas time, and have benefited so much from being with others and being able to share and hear from other people. And I really resonate with what Sid said, where oftentimes I'll see something in someone else, and um, it often feels safer to connect with someone else's part for me, and then than it is to connect with my own parts. And so yeah, that has been helpful to bring out, and also just to connect with the group. Um, and I've also been exploring the connect, like through this call, is bringing up just like the connection with the group, and also the ways in which parts sometimes feel scared to connect with the group and hold back. Um, not specific to this group, just the ways that parts hold back from people. Um, and this group has served somewhat as like a different model in life for me, as like being able to be open and share and connect with others. And it's been wonderful.
When Eli speaks of parts that hold back, our protective parts that make sure everything's safe, can we all find that part, those parts in our system that are making, oh, is this okay? Should I do this? Hold back. And are those parts a problem? Are they a problem? Like we might have parts that judge them, that say, oh, they should be different. I shouldn't do that. But can we see how wonderful those parts are that take care of us? Ones that hold back. I was just so grateful that Eli mentioned that, because for me, in our group, it's this welcoming of everything, of all of our parts, a celebration of our humanity, of everything that arises in us. Thank you so much, Eli. Ooh, Laura muted.
Thank you, Sid. And thank you, Eli, for that lovely share. Ooh, deep, deep, deep. So another mindful breath. Another moment of presence. It's brave. It's brave to speak our truth, especially with the parts that have acquired so much sense of shame. So brave. This is the bravest. Yeah. Really honoring all the parts. So, Rachilla, I've got you next. If you don't come on in a moment. Oh, here she comes. Beautiful. Thank you.
Namaste. I'm so happy to be here with this celebration of this group and so resonate with all the. I'm in Southwest Tennessee with my mother and helping take care of my mother. And I had been living in San Diego for like 13 years. And yeah, happy to be here to celebrate your 1 year anniversary. And so resonating with the parts that don't want to speak, that are afraid to speak. And noticing the parts of my mother that want everything to be safe for her, that want her to be safe, and seeing how quickly they become fearful when she's, walking without her, trying to walk without her walker, or forgetting the walker or the cane, or doing something that the doctors recommended that she not do. And also noticing more and more coming back to self with breath. And loving that. Yeah. And so thankful for everyone who is brave and sharing and seeing those parts in myself. Thank you.
As Richila shares the fear that comes up for her when she sees her mom walking without her walker. Like what brings up fear in your system? And then Richila describes that when that happens, how she comes back to self. One of the skillful means that she uses is the breath that brings her back. What is your kind of preferred skillful means for returning to self?
Beautiful. Breath tops the list for me. Yes. Gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous. I have Maria next.
Hi. Hi, I'm Maria, actually Maria Giovanna. I'm from beautiful Italy, and I'm I'm quite new to this non-duality path, actually, because I was on a progressive path, happily there. I was very happy there, but then suddenly this new experience came up, and so I had to leave everything. I mean, this community I was joining and all my friends, because I felt I had to be true to myself. And so this group here, this community is really, really important to me because, well, yes, because it is, if we can say it's the next step in my evolution. I don't know, because I don't know if these are the right words, but I suddenly realized that there was no divinity to bow to, that the bowing, the bower, the divinity, we were all one thing. And so I felt sort of wife who is in a good marriage, but was in love with somebody else, and that's to go. And well, this is it. Then I found you, and I was invited by dear Nancy Benda, who told me, yes, I met her in Rupert Spira's community, because when I had this so special experience of merging into self, I didn't know what it was. So I started to Google something, I don't remember what. And Rupert appeared, and then one thing after another, I came here. And it is really touching to think that we don't know each other. We don't know our personal narratives, each other's narratives, and yet our hearts know each other's hearts. So I can't share these things with my beloved ones anymore, because they are all on progressive paths, which are not bad, of course. But I've tried to explain what I'm feeling now, but there is nothing to explain, because when it is time to open in the sun, you just open like a flower, and you don't have to push anybody, anything. So being with you is a real gift. And I want to thank you, Laura, for creating this safe space. I felt you were capable to do it. And thanks, dear Sid, for all his input. And thank you for everything. Reading your book, by the way. And in case you decide to translate into Italian, I will help you with all my heart, because these are words that are worth sharing. Thank you. Thank you, Laura.
With what Maria Giovanna just said about, yet our hearts know each other.
Yes.
Can we all find that? And then when she speaks of her shift from the progressive path, how does that make sense for you? Because some people frame it as there's a progressive path, and there's a direct path and the pathless path. And for me, those other two are just pointing to that what we're yearning for, what we're moving towards on the progressive path, that it's concurrently already here, that fulfillment is already here, that peace is here, that love is here, that it's our very intrinsic nature. And at the same time, all the parts that perhaps are still playing on the progressive path, that all of those are included and welcomed as well.
Yes.
Yes. And my path is the Leela path. It's the playfulness, yes? Which includes everything. Everything, everything. Everything is a teacher. Oh, Maria Giovanna. That was... That was just... When you were talking about the flowering, I just felt my head to be, I don't know, some kind of a daisy or some kind of a flower, and I just wanted to reach out to the sun. It's like, yes, 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 yes. Kiss me, love me as much as I love you. Beautiful. So next I have Murray, but lovely Murray, and unless Anne would like to share something here, here's an invite.
I feel too new, but I really feel connected to everybody in the group, and I'm very much enjoying what everyone is saying. And I feel the connection of the heart.
Thank you. Carl Jung says the greatest journey we'll ever make. Very short, from the head to the heart. We start off in the heart, yes? Babies come into this world completely immersed in self, in the heart. And somehow we move away from the heart up into the thinking mind. Very useful for this being a human. But then at some point, we long to be back in the heart. The chakra vowel sound for the heart is ah. So maybe just in this moment, I'm inviting you, you can mute, you can turn your camera off, whatever suits, and invite this sound, ah. So if you take a deep breath in, invite the thinking parts to really be in the heart. Breath in and then ah it out. Let's do that now. Ah, and feel the resonance in the heart. And a couple more times, take a breath in and then ah it out from the heart. Ah, notice any tension in the neck. Let the shoulders down. Keep drawing down into the ground. Feet on the floor. Body heavy. Loose, open. Breath in and ah it out again. They say the primordial sound is the sound of the universe, which is the Om. And it's the sound of the heart. So maybe just finishing off with just an Om here. Breath in and then Om it out. Lovely. Lovely, lovely, lovely. So the final three I have, okay, no, Zoe's iPad. God, memory's good. Okay, we have iPhone and Chance. God, I love the name Chance. I love this. I have curious parts. Chance, would you be willing to speak a little? It's fine if not.
Sure. Hi. Thanks. Chances one alter alias. Or I have others. As we all do, I guess. And yeah, I was very curious. I actually joined the Facebook group fairly recently, and saw that this gathering was happening, and it sounded beautiful and connective, and I wanted to, get to see and feel the community and see what it was about. Yeah, I've really resonated a lot with Kelly's work, and found it really meaningful for my spiritual path and development. And yeah, I'm leaning into exploring ways to talk to my parts about non-duality and help help all my parts understand that we are what we are and it is what it is. And yeah, it's been reassuring actually to step away from notions of time. As someone who has a lot of ADHD characteristics, I never really did feel time in the same way, and maybe that was right all along. So yeah, thanks. Thank you for having this, and thank you for sharing your wisdom and insights, everyone. Yeah, it's lovely to be here, and I hope to have more opportunities to connect. I'll probably be on as Alexis Zenya in Facebook in a bit. More alter aliases, but chance is one. Thanks for the chance.
Oh, thank you, Chance. Thank you, Alexis. When Chance shares this moving away from the notion of time, where do you go with that? Speak of time. How does time play in your system with parts and self? Some folks that play with this, they'll describe self, where Eckhart Tolle, for example, is just the now. And there's some in IFS will be a sense of self is only in the now. It's only this present, which some people will describe as timelessness in this now. Notice how does that resonate with your system? And in contrast, they will describe that burdened parts that have any sense of lack, will be in time. And there'll be a sense of a future and a past, and often a sense of getting fulfillment from the future. Sense of time, using time for fulfillment, in contrast to self, that just is fulfillment in this timeless now. Laura.
So, with that, let's take a breath in the now. Do you get a sense of gratitude for this breath, these lungs, this heart? You know, when we fall asleep, when the parts are asleep and getting a well-earned rest, our hearts carry on beating for us effortlessly. The lungs breathe for us. How much must they love us? Thank you, heart, that you beat for me so effortlessly and so beautifully. You're with me through every moment of shame, sorrow, grief, joy, bliss. Thank you, heart. This is how loving our hearts are. Oof. Beautiful. iPhone. I'm looking at you. I'm looking at you. And if you're willing to share, beautiful. If you want to just relax and enjoy, also beautiful.
No. And we also had, like, Paul kicked us off, but we really didn't get to hear, like, more about what was happening.
Thanks, Sid. Yeah, okay, so ah, my parts are throwing a party and in the inside just being with everybody. Yeah. Um, Gosh, yeah, I'm just so excited to connect with everybody. Um, yeah, this group has been really awesome for me. I've been in several groups over the years. I was in the integral scene for a while, and I still am. Integral, Ken Wilber, integral philosophy. They tend to be very integrative of everything, and they have a lot of love for parts. They don't put it that way, but and meta modern, all that stuff, anything that includes everything. And I found IFS maybe 2, 3 years ago, and it was immediately, I already knew it. You know, I read IFS Therapy Second Edition. I was like, yes, this is, I I understand this completely. Um, there's something about like the integral scene. It includes everything. It tends to focus on awakening a lot, and then the intellectual side of things a lot, which I love. All those things. I tend to be quite intellectual, and I got more into healing in the past few years and emotions and things like that. And the healing community, IFS, really kind of, fits that for me. So my life, my crazy path, I tend to express things as like three foundational domains that I'm trying to bring together. And one is reason, two is awakening, and three is shadow work or healing work. And all three of those tend to kind of like not go together. It's kind of like oil. It's weird, but it's like oil. I find it's like oil and water in so many ways. But for me, there's just a spacious embrace of all of them. So I'm always trying to find groups and people and spaces that allow all of that. Um, like has been mentioned, the non-duality group won't allow healing. They won't allow parts. They won't allow reason and thinking parts, managers and firefighters and all that stuff. And from the beginning of my awakening path, maybe not the beginning, but a few years in, um, I just realized it's all right here. There's nothing wrong. Like there's unhealthy and healthy versions of everything. And so it's the unhealthy versions, and I guess we call it the burdens. Um, that's, there are concerns, there are problems, there are difficulties, obviously. So embrace those two. So I'm just excited to be in a place that can embrace it all, is very much focused on my favorite healing modality, and the languaging of IFS is just so simple and poetic and beautiful and intuitive, and clearly came from Dick's experience. Yeah, so for me, I felt like I had independently discovered in my own healing path, in my own way of being and self, allowing reason to come in and allowing me to be with my emotions. I independently discovered a lot of different things in IFS. So when I read it, I was like, yes, instead of trying to explain my stuff, I'm just going to point people to IFS. This is so much easier. For example, like one thing that I learned in my path is that whatever's coming up, instead of like seeing how it's bad, see how it's good. That just that worked. Like whatever's coming up, and the way I paired that is like, what context is this good? Right. That's the way I worked with it, instead of looking at the burdens and things like that IFS does. So just like this, whatever it is, all of me is good. But this may not be good right now and right here. So where would this be good? And once I could see where it was good, then I could see how it was good, and then I could embrace it and feel it. Then I could feel it without me being bad. Um, so I don't know. Those are the little things that I've learned in my path. I mean, yeah. So just to be in a space where all of this exists, um, I'm just thrilled. Yeah. And yeah, I moved to Vancouver, Canada, just to be closer to a place that can hold all of this together. And I've met so many people. I've been very much into the psychedelic space recently because there's a psychedelic renaissance. Yeah. Um, I'm moving out of that. I've kind of been doing that for years. Um, yeah. And I guess what else? Like, that's my party parts. My enthusiasm is very much present. Scared parts and difficult parts that I'm working with that are still present with me is I don't know. I just got out of a very difficult relationship that was beautiful and actually had all these elements in there, but we came to a limit to where it was self was the parts, the burdens of the parts were overtaken and we had to separate. So that's, man, it was so beautiful. But it was humbling and I guess intense and kind of surprising to see where my limits are, where I couldn't go, where I couldn't open, um, what I couldn't do. I I guess I've been on my path for a while, and my parts are like, by the time I found IFS, I already had a really good relationship with my parts, and they were fairly self-led, and they trust me quite a bit. Um, and it's beautiful. But then to like, there's always this deepening, and all of these parts that weren't loved as a kid, and just to see all those come out, and just like I thought it was, oh man, but no, you've got a lot of work to do, Paul. Uh, so I think my worried parts, I feel very comfortable speaking and sharing them. I think the parts that I have that are worried is just when I feel other people's pain, I tend to get over. I have parts that get over involved in other people's pain, and I want to help them. But I want to, those are safety parts. I want to feel safe, and I get enmeshed with I'm very much working on it, but uh, yeah, so I have parts that are worried about other people sharing their pain if I'm going to get sucked into it too much. So those parts are there for me, and I'm being those um, mindful of their burdens um, and being honest with myself that I can get caught up and blended and all that stuff.
Yeah, I want to bring everybody in here, Paul, with what you're sharing.
Mm-hmm.
There's just for all of us, how's it speaking to you? How is Paul speaking? Sometimes we say this, we're giving satsang as he speaks truth that for him, and like the sense of a resonance. When he says that he's seeing with his parts, seeing how it's the goodness in the parts, even in the ones that are difficult to hear. How does that resonate? When he speaks of loving a sense of embracing it all, of a path that embraces it all. And then he speaks of, for him, there were kind of three foundations when he thinks of embracing it all, bringing it all together. For him, it's reason, awakening, and healing. What is it for you? What is it bringing together? What are the foundations that are brought together in this journey, in this path for you? Is it the same as Paul's, or is it different? Thank you, Paul.
Thank you, Paul. So, yes, welcome, Ruth. Hello. Laura to Ruth. Laura to iPhone.
Shall we transition to a little party? What do you think, Laura?
I think that's beautiful. And I love how Paul said, Paul, you sort of willed it on a little bit by saying my parts are having a dance or having a sort of a celebration or a joy. What are you feeling, Sir Sid? Are we going to go with a little bit of Nessie Gomez? Or are we going to go with a little bit of We Are Family?
What is I am really feeling it. The play, what about my starting it off with the We Are Family and then kicking it over to you to take it where it goes? All right. The idea here, it's kind of like Paul's word. We've had this word party a couple times today. What is it like? What's it like inside you? Just there are all these parts. What if we were throwing a party? What if there was a party for your parts? Maybe it's like a birthday party, but a party for them to celebrate them where they can dance if they want. That. So I'm going to put on this song, and you're welcome to move on the outside as well. You're welcome to stand up and dance, but it's for your parts, a celebration of your parts. And so, if there was a party for your parts? What's the space of the party? Like, is it a dance floor? Are they out in a field? Are they in the sky? What's the setting for your party? And my friend Sarah here, when she talks about her part, she'll talk about 70 parts. It's like, for this party, how many parts are here now for you? Let's just see what happens. And let me just also make sure that the sound is working for everybody as we begin this. Oops. Here we go. And so as this music plays, invitation to your parts to feel it. How do they move? Is there a sense that some of the parts are coming out into the center of the dance floor? Like, yes, it's a party. I love this. And you have other parts that are like, what is going on here? A dance party? No. Or other parts that are in the shadows. And can all of them be welcomed just the way they are? Just the way they are. And we are family. As your parts hear that, is there a sense that they're not alone? If they look around this dance party, do they see that, wait, there are other parts here too, I'm not alone? And can they feel that there's maybe a connectedness? We are family. And what's that like? What's that like for your parts? To be part of a family, to not be alone. What's that like? And how are they moving? How are your parts moving? What's this like? And do they feel that maybe there's a sense of welcoming here? Can they feel the welcoming that's here in this party that's being thrown for them? That they're being welcomed. The ones that are just like crossing their arms and saying, no way. And the ones that are dancing like Laura. It's like, woohoo! All of them welcomed. What's this like? What's it like for your parts to be celebrated just as they are? Just as they are. To be welcomed just as they are. Do any of your parts touch? Do they touch other parts? Do they hold hands? What's that like? Are some of your parts having a lot of fun? It's like, oh, I love dance parties. This is great. And others that are like just maybe moving just a little bit. Maybe some of your parts that are like, I don't know about this, but you see them moving a little bit. And what's it like for your parts to know that they're welcomed just the way they are. Just the way they are. Nothing has to change. It's a party for them. What's that like? What's this like for your system? Oh. We are family. We are family. And do they notice also that there are other people's parts here too? Does your dance floor end in your box? Or is it possible that it includes our friends' boxes as well? All right, Laura, take it on.
Oh, that was delicious. That was lovely, 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 lovely. I enjoyed that. So we're gonna, I did about 10 years of 5 rhythms and biodanza and ecstatic dance. And this is a tune that sort of, when I was working through all the body stuff, the attachments in the body, this was a really lovely tune for me. So yeah, hope you enjoy it. So the invite is just to breathe and love. And smile. And enjoy the mystery. Gratitude. Come to your heart, come back home. I crossed over, anxious spirit, lost my knowing, confused senses, ancient voices. as the self heals us. Sense the healing. Self is medicine. Paul, you spoke about the wounded healer earlier. Chiron in Greek. And the reason why he was such a good healer is that he had the wound, yes? You have to know the wound in order to be able to recognize it, see the beauty, and to really allow it and welcome it back home. But in the wound is the medicine, you know? It's like, God, don't know if it was in his left or right side, but in that wound, you know, it's like, oh my God, it's here. Let me just be with this. You know, Carl Jung says the same thing, that our ability to transcend, our ability to reach our tree branches, to reach the heavens, is only matched by our ability of our roots to reach down into the depths. Can't have one without the other. And when we unite both of those, then we see the beauty in the so-called hell, in the so-called pain. And then actually we no longer need to reach up for the heavens because we scoop it out and bring it here. So much of self is about bringing the self to the parts. So yes. Recognizing that it's always here. Yes. Yes. That's all I have. Yes. Yes.
Yes. Yes. And really, the yes as we come to a close together today. Let me ask you this. For me, this is very much kind of 11 of us kind of directing where we went today, almost like 11 hosts, 11 facilitators, as each of us shared preciousness of what was here. In your experience, it just opened doors for all of us. And then there's, if you call it the field, the space, that is all of us, of this shared being, the shared self. The sense of that, and hopefully there was an experience of being celebrated and welcomed here, that you experienced this for you and your parts, sense of being welcomed by me, by Laura, and by all of us. This experience of being welcomed. And what's that like? What's that like inside for your parts to be welcomed just the way they are? I just want to share, I have such gratitude for our IFS non-dual community, for these friendships, and getting to be on this journey home together, as well as the celebration of just the beauty of what we are, that's home that is here now, and the journey home concurrently. Laura, will you give us the final words and bring it all together for us today?
Final words. I suppose it's this. I suppose it's patience. Patience is one of the P's of self, isn't it? Everybody who comes to IFS, everybody focuses on the 8 C's. And actually for me, the 5 P's, I always love the underdog, yes? And so for me, the 5 P's have always been very present. Presence, one of those. And I felt to share a little reading from some joker wrote this book. Don't know. And there's a little reading on patience. And I'm going to start with a quote from Nisargadatta Maharaj. Above all, have patience with yourself, for you are your only obstacle. The way leads through yourself, beyond yourself. And here are some of these words. The journey towards healing requires profound patience. We cannot force transcendence of our human condition, but must gently allow the process of ever deepening embodied presence to unfold at its own natural pace. With patience, we can compassionately witness the ebb and flow of our parts without grasping or aversion. We become spacious enough to embrace all circumstances, inner and outer, exactly as they are in this moment, without agenda. Over time, this gentle, patient, allowing awareness reveals the evergreen essence, the imaginal selves of our deepest nature shining through all experiences. We realize our parts are ultimately transient waves dancing on the open ground of our true being. I just want to say the imaginal cells are the cells that will go on to create a butterfly. So a caterpillar has these imaginal cells, these kind of unusual cells. And initially, as the caterpillar is going through its transformation, the caterpillar cells kind of fight the imaginal cells. Like, who are you? Who are you to want to change me, to want to alter me, to want to heal me? Who are you? But the imaginal cells are patient. They persist, persevere. And in the end, they win. In the end, this patience wins. And it tips the balance towards healing, towards wholeness. We unfold our butterfly wings and we fly away. And so patience is such an understated quality. In a hurried, fast-paced world, patience is like the most radical thing you can hold on to. So yes, patience. Yeah. And I don't want these to be the final words. So Sid, would you like to have a final word? Or would anyone like to have a final word?
I would like it to be yes. I would like it to be Laura's yes, yes, yes. Yes.
Yes. Yes. So I invite you all to just say yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So
Yeah.
good. Beautiful. Sid, it's such an honor. I love you and I love our group. I'm so glad we are here. So much love. So much love.
Thank you. Thank you to everybody. Thank you, Laura and Sid.
Thank you.
I hope
Thank
we
you.
will dance together once, Sid. But everybody, but Sid in particular. I remember he invited Rupert to dance too, didn't you, Sid?
Beautiful. So we shall see you on the group. Hope you have the lovely rest of your day. And thank you for your parts. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Beautiful.
Thank you, Laura and Sid and everyone.
Beautiful.
Thank you. Nice to meet you.
Thank you.